Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Ameerah. I am a visual artist and a beauty blogger, and this particular video will be a tribute and an ode to the one and only Frida Kahlo. If you couldn't guess already, Frida Kahlo is a Mexican artist that was just a huge inspiration to me as a painter. If you're not aware, I've been painting since I was 7 years old. Art is actually how I became interested in makeup. So this is very personal to me, and I wanted to not just have a channel that was just full of makeup tutorials, but I really want you guys to understand me and get to know me as an artist as well. And I think Frida Kahlo is that great middle ground between art and beauty. She is a beauty icon, she is a fashion icon, and if you don't believe me, they wrote a whole book about it. And this is the book here, Frida Kahlo, Fashion as the Art of Being. It came in this beautiful sleeve here, and this is such a great coffee table book. I actually saw this book for the first time when I was at the Philadelphia Museum of Art, and they had her self-portrait, her first self-portrait on display. And while I was in a gift shop, I saw this book, but it was a little too pricey at the time, so I did some research and I found it online for cheaper. And I'm so glad I got this book. This book is just full of not just rare photos, it also timelines her life, it timelines her paintings, and it also has a bunch of different fashion photos that show how they got inspiration from her as a person and from her paintings. So I'm just going to show you guys just a few of these. And the book is so big, so I'm going to try to hurry, but it is a really huge book and I don't want to damage it. But you'll see here, this is her on this side, and this is sort of fashion inspired by her on this side. Come on, zoom back in on me. There we go. Okay, and this is another fashion line. She was known for those big bouquets in her hair, so that's another fashion photo or fashion line. I'm not sure who the designer was, that was actually inspired by her. It's another picture. I don't know if you can see it. The models, their makeup has that infamous unibrow that she had. And I want to show you guys at least one of the paintings. I marked these off, and of course I can't get it now, but here we go. This is her painting on this side, one of her more famous paintings, and this is the fashion shoot inspired by that painting. So that's just a few of the pictures I wanted to show you guys. And like I said, she is just a huge inspiration to me artistically, and I wanted to do something that showed just on the beauty side how she also inspires me. Of course I wouldn't wear something like this out, but she was just so iconic and so true to herself, and I really aspire to be just that honest and that raw in my own artistic work, whether it be with makeup or with painting on a canvas. So I really thought this would be something fun to do. I hope you enjoy it. This background here is actually one of the paintings I did in tribute to her. I had a art show not too long ago called As Free as Frida, which I'm thinking about doing a part 2 to, that was inspired by her, of course, and it wasn't just portraits of her, but portraits of myself, knowing more about her history and her story, just some of the battles she dealt with from her childhood to her adulthood. Really inspired me to just look into myself and take what insecurities I may have and channel that into something positive and something powerful and putting it on canvas. So whenever you see paintings that I do of Frida Kahlo, is not necessarily an obsession. It's more of my way of thanking her for allowing me to really see inside myself and be true to myself. So This is getting a little deep, but I didn't mean to get that deep, but I did want you guys to understand where I was coming from. I'm sorry that this is so this is so long, but we're gonna get into tutorial for a minute. But I want to say thank you for clicking on this video. I hope you stay tuned to this look. I had a lot of fun doing it, and thank you, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye. So I'm not taking any particular look from Frida Kahlo. I didn't really look at one particular photo. I kind of just want to get her essence a little bit. And the first thing I think of are the brows. But because her brows were kind of unkept to a certain degree, I'm going to do my foundation first. And this is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. And I really love this foundation. By the way, I've already color corrected and I primed my face already. But I really like this foundation because this is probably the closest foundation to my undertone. I love that it runs more neutral than warm or cool. So, and this is in the shade Mocha. So I'm just going to put on my foundation first, since Lord knows them brows do not need to be cleaned. And I'm just going to take a beauty blender to blend this out. And now I'm going to go in with my MAC Deep Dark Brunette Fluid Brow Gel Cream. And I'm taking my MAC 266 angle brush. And I'm just going to fill in my brows. And I'm going to be a little less careful. I really want that untamed effect. I'm not going to go in with the unibrow yet. I'm just going to fill these in. And the fact that I don't get my brows done is actually helping me with this. So I'm going to try my best not to perfect it. It's such a habit, but I'm just going to, as carelessly as I can, fill in my brows. And now that the actual brow is filled in, I'm gonna dip it just a little more into that product, and I'm gonna go in with the unibrow, and I'm using a light hand because I want to start off light. And from the pictures I saw, the unibrow wasn't as bold as some of the tribute paintings illustrated to be. It wasn't like a Bert from Bert and Ernie unibrow. It was kind of scattered a little bit with parts that were deeper than others. So I'm just going to take my time filling that in, and I'm going to go in with a little bit more product on certain parts to deepen. So I'm going to go in with another brow gel. This is actually the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade in Ebony. This is a really deep color. I'm taking that same brush, and I really want those brows to be dominant, and because it's such a deep color, I'm going to fill this in on certain parts since her hair was so dark. And even though Deep Dark Brunette is pretty dark compared to Ebony, it's obviously brown. So I wanted to go in with Ebony just to add a little bit of dimension in the brows. Now I'm going to take NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer in the shade Caramel, which is really close to my skin tone. It's just a mild highlight, and I'm going to not necessarily clean up the brows, but more streak this through the brow to really create that untamed brow look, so it appears like skin to show off the brow hair. So for concealer, I'm going to also go in with NARS. This is their Radiant Creamy Concealer in Caramel as well. This particular shade is fairly close to my skin complexion. I don't want a poppin' under eye highlight. I do want something that looks a little more natural. So I'm going to go in with this shade, and it looks like it's really going to, at first it looks like it's going to highlight me really well, but this blends out fairly close to my skin tone, so that's why I put down the Shape Tape today and went in with this instead. And to contour, I'm going to go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Cream Contour Kit, and this is in the shade Medium. I'm going to take my e.l.f. contouring brush, and I'm probably going to go in with this shade here, Chocolate. And I'm just going to dip my brush in there and just carve out. And I want this look to look a little more natural, so I'm not going to just leave this deep contour. I'm going to go over it with Ash Brown, the shade here. And this is clearly lighter than the shade we went in with first. And I'm going to put this right on top just to cool down that contour. And now that we're all highlight and contoured, I'm going to go in with my Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I'm just going to set my highlight. And I'm just going to go in with my Sephora Micro Smooth powder in the shade Deep to set the rest of my face. So I'm not going to do an actual eyeshadow. I will be using an eyeshadow palette for another part of the face. But I think her eyes in most of the pictures I saw was pretty bare. So I'm just going to create just more like a shape definition around the eye. And I'm going to go in with that same shade, Chocolate, from the Anastasia Cream Contour Kit. And I'm taking a E55 brush, and I'm just going into that crease, not really trying to make an actual shadow, just show some, I guess, definition around the eye. And I'm going to take that same brush and the same palette, and I'm going to go in with this shade here, which, is that right? Warm Coral. I guess that's the right shade. I don't think that's the right shade, y'all. I think I've been messing up. I think this is Cinnamon. The way this looks on the back is not really the mirror image of how these are. I don't think so. I think this shade is actually Cream, and this shade is Cinnamon. This is still Chocolate, but this is Cinnamon and this is Cream. This has got to be Warm Coral. But anyway, I'm going to go in with the shade Cream with that same brush, and I'm just going to dab just a little bit on my lid. And I'm just going to set this with some translucent powder, since there is a lot of cream on the eye. So in most of the pictures I've seen, Frida had like this more of a contour blush, some sort of red or light pink on her cheeks. So I'm going to go in with the Modern Renaissance palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I'm going to go in with, first I just want to build it up first, so I'm going to go in with Realgar, which is this orangey color, and I'm going to take a e.l.f. bronzing bronzing brush, and I'm going to treat this like a contouring powder. I'm going to get some on this brush here. It's so weird going into this palette with a brush this big, but I'm going to treat this like a powder contour, and I'm just going to start building that on my cheek. And she didn't really have it like her cheek, it was more like a highlighter, like on the high points of her cheek. So I'm just going to build this up on the high point of my cheek first. Okay, so now that Realgar is on our cheeks, and I'm looking a little crazy, but I know it's going to come together in the end, I'm going to go in with Venetian Red, this shade right here, And I'm gonna go over, I'm taking the same brush and I'm going to go over Realgar with this color, focusing more on this center part. I don't really want to bring this color down here. I just want to keep it in that middle area. So to prevent this from becoming a little 80s looking, I'm getting like some Grace Jones vibes, but that's not the look for this particular video. I'm gonna go in with burnt orange. This sort of, it's called burnt orange, but it's kind of like a nice transition looking color to me. So I'm gonna go in with the same brush. I flicked off what red and orange shadow was on there, and I'm just gonna focus this on the front of my cheek where that red was, just so it can blend out a little more seamlessly. I want the focus to be on the cheeks, but I also want it to sort of blend out into the skin as naturally as possible. So I'm going to add just a little bit of contour so this detail on the side of the face here really stands out. I'm gonna go in with my NARS contour blush duo, and this is the Melina duo, and I'm gonna go in with this deeper shade here, and I'm taking my Sigma F40 brush. This is super pigmented, so I want to be a little gentle, and I'm putting just a little bit under that I don't know what we want to call this, but I'm putting some contour right under that. So for mascara, I definitely don't want bold, voluminous lashes. I want something a little more natural looking, so I'm going to go in with YSL's mascara in Babydoll. And I like this mascara when I'm doing something a little more on the natural side. You can definitely lengthen your lashes with this if you go in with a bunch of coats, but if you're looking for something a little natural, this is a really good mascara for that. So I put a little mascara on the top and just the outer corner of the bottom of my eye, and I'm going to do the same thing with my Feline Kohl Power Eye Pencil by MAC. So I'm not going to go in with a highlight. I think the detail on the cheeks is quite enough, and I don't really want a glowy cheek for this look. I just don't think it's necessary. So I'm going to go straight to the lips, and I'm going to go in with my MAC lip pencil, and this is in the shade Auburn. Almost every picture I see of Frida Kahlo, at least when she's being officially photographed, she has on some sort of red lip. So I'm going to start off with this red lip pencil. So I went in with that lip pencil and I filled in my lips a little bit, and now I'm going to go in with ColourPop's Creeper, and this is, I believe, one of their ultra matte lipsticks, liquid lipsticks. So how could I forget about bronzer? Probably because the cheeks are so different today, but I'm going to go in with NYX No Filter Bronzer in the shade Deep Golden. And I just want to bronze it up just a little bit. So this is the finished look, you guys. I hope you like it. This is really different for me, and I'm sure this isn't really practical, but I did want to do a makeup tutorial that sort of merged my interests between art and beauty, and I think Frida Kahlo is just that perfect middle ground for something like this. As I said earlier, she's a huge inspiration to me in my artwork, and so this is just sort of me paying yet another tribute to her and how much she has inspired me, not only artistically but now beauty wise. So I just want to say thank you for tuning into this. This probably isn't something you're going to go out and wear, but I had a lot of fun putting this look together. My little flower bouquet headband is so big you can't even fit into the whole frame, but I spent actually a day doing this in preparation for this particular tutorial, so I'm very proud of my little flower headband bouquet. So I really do hope you enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun. If you want to see some more looks like this, I'm thinking about doing at least once a month something entitled The Art of Beauty, which is actually inspired after one of the art shows I had just this past year that highlighted women artistically that inspired me beauty wise, and how beauty is a form of art in itself. So I was thinking about maybe doing something like this once a month with different iconic ideas and people that wore iconic makeup. So let me know how you feel about that. I'm getting a little bit excited, but of course I want your feedback because I want to film things that you actually are going to view and be interested in. But if you like this look, I hope you comment and subscribe to my channel. Let me know what you want to see in the future. And again, thank you for watching, and I hope I see you in my next one. Bye.